Tonight you'll hear a whisper that will change everything you believe about fear. It began the moment I moved into my grandmother's Victorian house. Its windows like hollow eyes watching me, its corridors cloaked in shadows and dusty echoes. I'm Julia, a photo archivist drawn here by the promise of quiet halls and vintage albums filled with forgotten smiles, until Grandma pulled me aside and warned, never open the backroom door in the basement. I shrugged it off as superstition until one stormy night at exactly 3:02 a.m., when I froze at my desk as a voice, soft as silk and twice as cold, breathed my name through the dark hallway. Heart pounding, I grabbed my flashlight and crept down the stairs, each creak underfoot echoing in the empty house. The backroom door, a slab of warped oak, stood cracked open, mist curling beneath it like a living thing. I shone the beam inside, and saw nothing but stone walls and drifting dust motes. Yet the whisper returned, closer now, tugging me deeper into the gloom. I pressed my ear to the cold wood, my breath catching as the single syllable Rolia repeated in a tone so hollow it made the hairs on my arms stand on end. Over the next few nights, the whisper became a ritual. At exactly 3:02 a.m., my baby monitor crackled to life with distorted waveforms glowing a sinister red. I replayed the recording until the warped hum haunted my dreams. Shadows flickered at the edge of my vision, photo frames toppled off shelves, and every time I rushed to the hallway, the door slammed shut before I could touch it. The house had turned against me. Every creak became a warning. Every gust of wind a secret voice, urging me to flee. Unable to ignore the growing dread, I searched the attic for answers. Beneath moth-eaten coats and brittle journals, I unearthed Grandma's personal diaries. Candlelight flickered against her spidery script as I read her final entry, written 30 years ago, He whispered my name in the dead of night. I felt his breath on my neck and knew that I was never alone. The pen trailed off into darkness, leaving her last thoughts suspended in time as if she had been pulled away before she could finish. That revelation shattered my resolve. When the next 3:02 a.m. approached, I armed myself with my flashlight and descended into the basement, each step heavy as though the house itself resisted my advance. I pushed open the backroom door and stepped inside under a single swinging bulb. A dusty wardrobe yawned open to spill faded Polaroid photos, images of my grandmother as a child, smiling in this very house decades before I was born. On the floor lay that same leather-bound diary, its cover cracked with age. I knelt and opened the diary to its final page. He whispered my name. I felt him stand behind me, colder than the grave. The wardrobe doors slammed shut behind me, the bulb shattered, and the room plunged into a darkness so complete it felt alive. I scrambled back up the stairs, heart racing, and ran to my editing desk. Rewinding the baby monitor footage one last time, I watched in horror as the screen showed me asleep at my desk, bathed in lamplight, with a dark silhouette looming behind me, featureless eyes glowing faintly. The timestamp flashed 3:02 a.m. in menacing red. Then, so faint I almost thought it was my imagination, I heard another whisper echoing from the walls themselves. "It's not me calling you, Julia. Asterisk, I fled into the storm-soaked night and never returned. But here, in the safety of my new apartment, if I listen closely in the dead of night, I still catch that soft, aching whisper curling around my name, just as it did in that basement. What do you think called me that night? Don't forget to subscribe our channel, comment below, and remember, once you hear your name whispered in the dark, there's no going back. Sources